Hello, this is Paul Sutherland. I would like to do a video today, I haven't done one in quite a while, about minor chords. I've had a request that I show my feet in my videos, and so I'm going to try that and see what happens. I've kind of hesitated in the past because I have the Jimmy Day floor pedals set up, which means my A, B, and C floor pedals are reversed from what's standard. There's a sizable minority of us that have the Jimmy Day floor pedals set up, but most have Emmons. And so, if you start to get confused by my pedals, just remember that what I'm pushing right now with my left foot is my A floor pedal. Excuse me, that's my A floor pedal. This is my B floor pedal, and now I'm hitting my B and C floor pedals. So don't get lost. And I'm going to be talking about my knee lever that lowers the E's, and probably might just say knee lever. It's the right, for me it's right knee lever going right. So that's my motion right there. Okay, first thing we want to talk about is there are some really predictable patterns to minor chords that will get you through most all modern country songs, old traditional country songs, and a whole lot of music that's not even country. But what I'm talking about today, the patterns I'm going to talk about are for major songs that are in a major key that have minor chord thrown in here and there. I'm not particularly talking about songs that are in minor keys. Now, the location of the minor chords will be the same, but the patterns of chords will be different. Let's first talk about how do you even find a minor chord on the E9 pedal steel. My setup is very standard. Others have covered this subject, I know, but sometimes you just hear somebody say the same thing a little bit differently and suddenly it clicks. And so if you're struggling with finding minor chords and trying to remember things, hopefully this will help you a little bit. Let's use the key of G just for simplicity. So the key of G, you all know that 3rd fret, we have a G major chord on strings 10, 8, 6, 5, 4, and 3. Well, if I want to make that G major chord into a minor chord, there's a number of different simple ways. First, go up 3 frets and push the A floor pedal. So we went from a G major. We basically lowered the pitch of this string, the 3rd interval. So you should be able to hear that that's a minor chord. So if you're looking at a chord chart of a song and it suddenly says you need to play a D flat minor, and you go, oh my goodness, where's a D flat minor? Well, find D flat major first. D flat major would be the 9th fret. No pedals. Now just go up 3 frets and push A floor pedal. Now you've played a D flat minor. It's just that simple if you just remember these patterns. Next way to getting back to the G minor. So up 3 and A floor pedal. Also, you can go down 2 and bring in the B and C pedals. So from the no pedal position of whatever chord you're thinking about, the major chord position, go down 2 frets, hit the B and C pedals, and play strings 6, 5, 4, 6, 5, 4, 3. Any combination. You can hit 1 too, and actually you can hit 7 as well, because with that C pedal is raising that string to the same pitch as your 7th string. Well, okay, that's one way. Another thing you can do is because the 7th string gives you that interval that you're looking for, you can also just use the A and B pedals and bring in the 7th string. Hopefully you can hear that's a G minor chord. So I'm playing, there's no pedals on the 3rd fret, 8, 6, 5. Now I'm going down 2 frets and I'm hitting 7, 6, 5 with A and B floor pedals down. So now I've made a G minor. Now, so that's another way. And now I'm running out of neck in the key of G, so I'm going to have to go up an octave. So here, 15th fret, just an octave above where we were. Now I'm going to go down. I went down 2 more frets. So from the note pedal position of G, I went down 4 frets, and I used the knee lever lowering the E's. And now all of the strings, 10, 8, 6, 5, 4, 3. That's all, any of those make up a minor. Okay, so again, if we go back to the example of, it's a D flat minor. You know, I'm purposely picking an odd chord. So the D flat is the 9th fret. Well, we said go up 3 and an A flattle. That was one way. But we also have these ways going down. Down 2 frets with the B and C pedal, or down 2 frets with the A and B pedal and bring in the 7th string. Or go down 4 frets and use the knee lever lowering the E's. Whoops. I didn't get enough. I didn't go down far enough. There's a D flat minor. So you can always plot it out if you have to, if you know how to find those minors. Now, that's the most basic way to find minors. But when you're actually working on a song, as I said, there's a predictable pattern to minor chords. And what you're usually going to find is the minor chord that you'll encounter in a song that's in the key of G. Let's say a standard major. It's a major scale song. I mean, the song's in G major. You're going to find the minor is either going to be an A minor, or a B minor, or an E minor. Now, A minor is the 2 minor, so it's the 2nd interval above G. Well, it's the 1st interval above G, but it's the 2nd of the scale. That's the 2 minor. Or it can be the 3 minor, which would be the B minor. Or it can be the 6 minor, which is the E minor. Well, there's a real simple way to locate those chords. One is from the pedals down position, or no pedals position. The other is from the pedals down position. From the no pedals position, 2 minor chord, down 2 frets, and with the knee lever. Or instead of going down 2 frets with the knee lever, stay on the 3rd fret and hit A and B pedals and the 7th string. I use that a lot because it's just easy. When it's a long gig, I'm tired, and here comes a minor chord. It's just simply less work. I don't have to move my foot or anything because I'm on the A and B pedals all the time. Now, instead of using the 7th string and the A and B pedals, I can use B and C pedals. It's a higher inversion. So, 2 chord, down with the knee lever, or A and B at the A and B with the 7 at the 3rd fret, or B and C at the 3rd fret. So now that's the 2 minor chords. Now if you want to play the 3 minor chord, well, everything you just did, just move it up 2 frets. You do sometimes hear the 3 minor. So that's the 3rd fret. So I stayed right on the 3rd fret and brought in the knee lever. Or I could go up 2 frets with the 7th string and A and B. Or I could go to B and C up 2 frets. So I'm at the 5th fret. So the 3 minor. The one thing a lot of times you'll hear is the song will walk up from the 1, 2 minor, 3 minor, 4. Those are those chords. I'm starting off on 8, 6, and 5 on the 3rd fret, no pedals or levers. And then I'm going to 1st fret for the 2 minor with the knee lever. And then I'm going up to the 3 minor, up 2 steps. And then I'm bringing in the A and B pedals and taking off the knee lever and resolving to the 4 chord. Okay, so we've covered the 2 minor and the 3 minor in the no pedals position, but the 6 minor couldn't be easier. All you do is push the A pedal. That's an E minor. Remember, this was an E, up 3 frets with the A pedal, and now it's an E minor. So I've got all 3 minors right there. Particularly on the 6 minor, where you're using that A pedal, your chromatic strings 1 and 2 sound real nice. Okay, that's everything from the no pedals position. Pedals down, it's more or less the converse of what we did down there. So 10th fret with pedals is obviously our G chord. Now we want to play a 2 minor. I'm going to go down 2 frets and bring in the A pedal, because that's going to get a 2 minor is an A minor. So three minor. That was just playing real simple stuff. 10th fret, 8th fret with A down. Playing strings 3 and 4, 1 and 2, 4 and 5. You can go on and off that A pedal briefly, but you're basically making an A minor chord. And then if you want to make a 3 minor, you go up 2 frets and to the 10th fret, and you've got your B minor. But if you don't want to use the A and B pedals, well, that's the simplest way from here to do that. Because let's talk about the 6 minor. So you've got your major G chord here on the 10th fret, and now the song goes to a 6 minor. Bring in the B and C pedals, and strings 3, 4, and 5, or 4, 5, and 6, or 5, 6, and 7. And if you're using 7, you don't really have to use the C pedal. You can use the A and B pedals. Stuff like that's really common, and so there's where you find your 6 minor. So from the pedals down position, it's down 2 with the A pedal for the 2 minor. Stay right at the 10th fret and use the A pedal for the 3 minor, and then to get the 6 minor, either use B and C, or A, B, and C. Oh, I forgot to use the knee lever. So for the 6 minor, there's a 6 minor to 2 minor progression. So from 1 to 6 minor to 2 minor. To the 5. So the 6 minor is also down 2 frets. So you've got the B and C, or the A and B with 7, or down 2 frets with the knee lever. And that's all 6 minor, which is a E minor, because here's your E chord. Okay, one last minor that you do encounter much less often, but you do hear it enough that it's worth talking about. And you hear the 4 minor. And the 4 minor, sometimes, what I usually hear it's a 4 chord to a 4 minor resolving to a 1 chord. So in the key of G, that's going to be C, C to G. I mean, so C, C minor, G. Well, it couldn't be simpler to play. Sounds real pretty. There's 4, 5, and 6 at the 3rd fret with A and B pedals down. Up 1 fret take the pedals off as you bring in the knee lever, and then down back to resolve it to the G major, take everything off. No pedals or levers on the 3rd fret. Now another way you can play that is of course up here. I think it needs to have a consistent descending quality to it. So when you do this, I have to drop down a set of strings, but basically I'm going from the no pedal position, C, on the 8th fret, and then I'm dropping down a set of strings and going up 3 frets and bringing in the A pedal because I want to make that chord a minor, and then down 1 fret with A and B pedals on to resolve to G. Now, one last little thing. I have a knee lever. Some of you have this, some don't. If you lower the 6th string a half tone, you can get a minor right on the. So like you could play a G, and then you could lower it a half tone and have a G minor. Well, I don't lower the 6th a half tone. I do something that's less common, but it is out there. I raise the 7th a half tone. So, there it is. What am I doing? Okay, back up to 8th fret. There it is. That's what I wanted to play. So it's 8, 6, and 5, no levers or pedals. And then it's 8, 7, and 5 with the lever raising the 7th a half tone. And then dropping down a set of strings, so 10, 8, 6, and then going as I go to the 10th fret and bring in A and B. You could, if you had the lowering of the 6th a half tone on a lever, you wouldn't even have to switch strings there on that first. I can't play it because I don't have it. It should sound exactly the same, but you'd be doing it slightly differently. Hopefully, I know this is fairly basic material, but hopefully this will be helpful to some of you to expand beyond just playing G, C, and D, and start being able to find where those minors are and becoming a better player. Good luck.